Arachnophobia. You're cozied up in your favorite chair, perhaps with a cup of hot cocoa in hand, and suddenly, out of the corner of your eye, you spot it. The spooky little creature with a body as small as a pea, but legs that seem to stretch into infinity. A spider. Cue the dramatic music and let the panic ensue. Cut! In the wild, wild world of arachnophobia, even the smallest of spiders can wield the power of a giant monster. It's not about the size, but the sheer number of legs. 8 to be precise. That's 6 more than I'd prefer them to have. I mean, who needs 8 legs? It's like a spider sat down one day and said, you know, it'd be hilarious if I had 2 more pairs of legs just to freak everyone out. And God was like, sure thing, buddy. And so here we are. Wonderful. But let's not forget their otherworldly ability to appear out of nowhere. One moment you're just chilling, and the next, BAM! There it is, hanging out in the corner of your shower, looking at you while you only have 2 thoughts in mind. First, where is my flamethrower? Then, when the spider starts moving in your direction, the second thought kicks in, where the heck is my flamethrower? Don't forget about the bloody web. You see a little bastard, then turn around for a second, and they've woven an intricate web masterpiece, as if to say, look at what I did while you were gone. Oh, the web, a marvel of engineering and architecture, yet somehow when you walk into one face first, it feels like you've just encountered the grossest thing on earth. You flail, you dance, you become a one-person demolition team, trying to rid yourself of the sticky tendrils. All the while, the spider probably sits back and enjoys the show, thinking, my work here is done. Sociophobia. Imagine you're at a bustling party surrounded by laughter and chatter, but instead of feeling like you're part of the scene, you're caught in a mental tug of war between wanting to join in and wanting to disappear into the wallpaper. Feels familiar? Don't worry, you're not alone in that feeling. Sociophobia isn't just about feeling a little shy. It's like your brain hits the panic button at the mere thought of a social interaction. Have you watched Inside Out? Especially the second part? Remember that table of emotions that the main characters use for controlling emotions? Well, imagine only one button with a note saying, press to panic. It's as if every eye in the room suddenly turns to you and your mind starts playing a rapid-fire game of, what if? What if I say something stupid? What if I spill my drink? What if I forget how to human? And you press the panic button, forcing everything to get worse. Everyday conversations become mental obstacle courses. You rehearse your lines like an actor preparing for Broadway, only to stumble over your words when it's showtime. Small talk feels like defusing a bomb. Every sentence, a potential mishap that could lead to social disaster. I mean, they won't lead to it, but you feel that it will. That's the tricky part. Social interactions become a battlefield of internal pep talks and strategic retreats to the snack table. You navigate the sea of faces, hoping for a friendly port amidst the storm of anxiety. Sometimes, you find a fellow sailor, a kindred spirit who understands the art of awkward silences and the beauty of shared discomfort. And let's not forget the digital age twist on sociophobia. Social media becomes a double-edged sword, a digital playground where you can connect with friends and strangers alike, but also a virtual minefield of comparisons and curated lives. It's like attending 1,000 parties at once, each with its own set of unspoken rules and social hierarchies, and you don't feel quite alright in any of them. For the brave souls grappling with sociophobia, every social triumph is a victory worthy of celebration. A simple conversation that flows smoothly, a joke that lands just right, these are the moments that remind you that you're more than your fears. Priceless moments. But here's the secret sociophobia doesn't want you to know. Everyone feels awkward sometimes. Even the most confident souls have their moments of doubt and hesitation. In the end, all of us are just messy, not very smart, and impulsive monkeys, trying to look and act civilized. So don't worry, if you pretend to be confident, eventually, you won't have to pretend. You will be. Agoraphobia. Ever felt like the great outdoors isn't always as inviting as a cozy blanket fort at home? Picture this. You step outside, ready to conquer the day, when suddenly, the world feels like it's closing in around you, even though you don't see any walls whatsoever. Wide open spaces become vast expanses of uncertainty, and even familiar places can transform into daunting labyrinths of anxiety. Agoraphobia involves fearing and avoiding places or situations that might cause panic and feelings of being trapped, helpless, or embarrassed. It's a simple primal instinct but maxed out at 200%, making you feel trapped anywhere, even in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by nothing, threatened by no one. A constant fear of a trap. But agoraphobia isn't just about avoiding crowded places or open spaces, it's a masterclass in the art of avoidance in general. It's like your brain hits the previously mentioned panic button at the mere thought of being somewhere you might feel trapped or unable to escape. The grocery store, the park, even your own front porch can feel like a high-stakes adventure. Every outing becomes a strategic mission. You plot your routes like a seasoned explorer, mapping out safe havens and escape routes along the way. Sometimes, a simple trip to the corner store feels like planning an expedition to Everest. You pack your courage, your coping strategies, a snack for good measure, and maybe a flamethrower, just in case. Can't hurt, eh? Claustrophobia. You're in an elevator, innocently pressing the button for your floor, smoking a cigarette even though you shouldn't be doing that inside a building, especially not inside an elevator. The doors close. You wait. Suddenly, the walls seem to close in around you. Your heart races, your palms get clammy, every second feels like an eternity in a shrinking box. The walls slowly consume you, ignoring your screams and prayers. The universe collapses, you cease to exist. Moral of the story? Quit smoking. Alright, maybe I am being a little bit dramatic, but claustrophobia isn't just about feeling a little uncomfortable in tight spaces. It's your brain's way of saying, dude, we're screwed. I don't know about you, but I hit the panic button. Good luck. It's as if every room with a closed door becomes a potential prison, and every tunnel or narrow passage, a winding maze of fear. You navigate subway cars like a stealthy spy, avoiding eye contact and silently praying for an empty seat next to the door. Even the cozy comforts of a snug sweater can feel suffocating when your mind plays tricks on you, convincing you there's not enough air to breathe. For better understanding and a small entertaining story, once upon a time, I found a live pigeon inside my kitchen wall. Let me explain. It was summer, or at least it was warm. I was around 11, maybe 12. For about a month, my family and I were hearing strange noises coming from inside our kitchen wall. We thought it was some nasty rats, and from time to time we would hit the wall a few times with a solid armature stick to keep them quiet. Okay, it sounds even worse when I say it out loud. So anyway, at one point, we got so pissed off at those intruders that we gutted the wall inside out. And we found a live pigeon, chilling there, eating some bugs and drinking rainwater. And the funny part is, he wasn't even hurt. We simply let him go and he flew away without even saying thank you or paying rent. But jokes aside, the point of my story is that this is how you feel when you have claustrophobia. Alone, in the dark, with no one to hear you or help you, unable to even move because your limbs are simply stuck in the close-quarter environment. And some folks keep bashing the wall with a bloody armature, cursing madly. A truly horrifying picture, but a good story, you gotta admit. Thalassophobia. Oh, this one I have myself. I think I have this phobia mainly because I can't swim. And let's be real, when you can't swim, it's doubtful you'll love the dark ocean depths. Imagine for a second a hypothetical scenario. You stand on a serene beach, salty breeze in your hair, gazing out at the endless expanse of water stretching to the horizon. But instead of feeling a sense of awe, your heart races, and a primal fear washes over you like a rogue wave. But you imagine the horrors the deeps can hold. Do you know the writer H.P. Lovecraft? Even if you do, have you ever read any of his works? If not, then now, with an excerpt, I will colorfully explain how it feels to fear the sea. The most merciful thing in the world, I think, is the inability of the human mind to correlate all its contents. We live on a placid island of ignorance in the midst of black seas of infinity, and it was not meant that we should voyage far. The sciences, each straining in its own direction, have hitherto harmed us little, but someday the piercing together of dissociated knowledge will open up such terrifying vistas of reality, and of our frightful position therein, that we shall either go mad from the revelation or flee from the deadly light into the peace and safety of a new dark age. Yes, it's a grim quote, but so freaking true. That's why I love poetry. Thalassophobia isn't just about a feeling of uneasy about the ocean. You imagine cosmic horrors hidden in the darkness, far beyond our pathetic mind's ability to comprehend. And in a way, I consider this phobia the most romantic? Even a dip in the shallow end of a swimming pool can trigger visions of lurking sea creatures, real or unreal. Your imagination runs wild, conjuring images of colossal hungry souls ready to pull you into the abyss. I just want to remind you that we've only explored 5% of the oceans, and 95% remains untouched. Now, for another short statistic. 71% of the Earth's surface is covered by oceans, and through simple calculations we can determine that we've explored only about 35% of our planet Earth. A planet upon which we've lived for around 300,000 years, considering the Homo sapien species alone, while the Earth itself has existed in the universe for around 4.543 billion years. In our literature, myths, and legends, we've created all kinds of creatures: good, evil, those beyond good and evil, ancient gods without mercy, sleeping beasts in the dark corners of our planet, terrifying colossal beasts that hide in plain sight without us even knowing, and now, my dear friends, I want to ask a simple question. A question I want to linger in your minds for quite some time. What if